Peace, 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 peace. The Moors, the Moors, the Moors, the Moors. What is? Who are they? What is it? Why? Most of us never heard of the Moors? Isn't it interesting how you put in the Moors, and you get open fields. You know, you get open fields, and you get dark-skinned people. People love, 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 love their religion, their ideology. And there's nothing wrong with loving your culture and your traditions. Nothing wrong with that. But your traditions are only seen only through one lens. And that is the lens that your culture upheld. You know? But the interesting thing is about the earth, right? It's about the earth. See, I think what people do is they get into this mindset that they got this degree or paper from, a particular group of people, and that makes them superior in knowledge. Not understanding that those schools were never set up to teach you anything. Israelite churches used to be set up like that, where they teach you critical thinking, look up definitions, look up etymologies, look up William Sanders Crawley, look up the Commandment Keepers, look up Noble Drew Ali, look up Dr. Malachi York, Yahweh bin Yahweh, One West before the Great Divide. And these brothers was bringing out educational books. Morisco. All right, verb, to fasten a ship in a particular location by cables, anchors, etc. Probably related to Old English mariels, mooring rope, via unrecorded moorien to moor, or possibly borrowed from the Middle Low German moorien, or Middle Dutch moraine to moor, from the Germanic morrigen, I don't know, mooring. All right, noun, that was a verb. Noun, track, to open untilled, more or less elevated ground. So remember, it says man was created from the dust of the ground. So being a Moor, you shouldn't have an issue with that. If you are going by the definition of the word. Now, do I think that the Abrahamic people called themselves Moors? That's a different debate. Did they call themselves humans? This is why the books are important to the ancients, because they were giving us who they were connected, how they were connected to the earth. And this is one of the examples, being connected to the earth. Elevated ground often overran with heath. 12th century from Old English, moor, morass, swamp. So you see, these are the definitions of the word moor, giving us a better understanding of what a moor is. And look at what you have here. Simultaneously, it also represents North African Berber, one of the races dwelling in Barbary, late 14th century. So you had the Moors that circumnavigated the world, right? You see how they have the myth? Sometimes it pisses me off, but you can't let things piss you off. So, um, Iroquois, uh, people of the Long House. What is that? Handu Osani, Haudenosaunee, Iroquois, Haudenosaunee, people of the Long House, are a historically powerful Northeast Native American confederacy in North America. They were known during the colonial years to the French as the Iroquois League, and later as the Iroquois Confederacy, and to the English as the Five Nations, comprising of the Mohawk, Onondaga, Wande, Cayuga, and Sanasa. After 1722, they accepted the Tuscarora people from the southeast. So from the southeast, where is this? The historical, all independent people spoke Iroquois languages. So I'm reminding you, the Moors was around in the 14th century. The Iroquois was around, had a confederation between 1450 and 660, right? Disestablished 1867 after the Revolutionary War. What took place after the Civil War? I think people think that when it's attributed to black people, it's made up somehow. you know, um, we turn a blind eye to the situations that is before us for the delusion that we are upholding in the world, which is insane. So let me go back to this. Inhabited Mauritania. So when the Moors tell you, some of the people from the MSTA or House of Ram or anything like that, which I'm gonna get into the Israelites later. This is just to show that the Israelites and the Moors are the same people, the people that came to the Americas, and was deceived into believing that they were black, Negro, and colored, and African American apparently. So the medieval Latin Moris, from Latin Mauricio or Maurice, Morris, inhabitant of Mauritania, Roman Northwest Africa, a region now corresponding to northern Algeria and Morocco, from Greek moros, perhaps a native name, or else cognate with moros, black. Put this adjective only appears in the late Greek and may as well be from the people's name as the reverse. Also applied to the Arabic conquerors of Spain. So the Arabic people, which this is telling you the people that conquered Spain were Arabic. So this is denoting the people before. Because history tells you that the Moors inhabited Spain from 711 to 1492 when they was exiled. And when they were exiled, where'd they go? Where'd they go? Where'd they go? Where'd they go? You know what I'm saying? The history is it's in your face. It's in your face. It's in your face. Let's see, expel. So apparently I spelled that wrong. You know, players mess up too, you know. Yeah, so you want people to see the connections of, you know, historical events. You don't want people to assume that they have the full picture. All right. Let's go back to this real quick. This is also applied to the Arabic conquerors of Spain, being a dark people in relation to Europeans, for their name in the Middle Ages was synonymous with Negro. Later, 16th century, being the nearest Muslim to the Western Europe, it was used indiscriminately of Muslim, Persian, Arab, etc., but especially those in India. Cognate with Dutch Moor, German Moor, Danish Moro, and Spanish Moro, Italian Moro, related to Morris. Black skinned people. So if you paying attention, right, you see where a lot of this stuff derives from. And they don't want you to know none of this. This is why they keep you working to the point that your hands and you're stressed to the point of no return. You know, 1660, 1670, members of the Confederate Indian tribes of central New York, from the Dutch, not an Iroquois word, perhaps from Algonquin language. So we have this disconnection to our past. The reason I bring these things up more is because you have to see where a lot of these things come from. The Constitution, the Bible, the Quran, it comes from us. It comes from us. Any historian that is honest and truthful and just and worthy of justful praise will tell you this. They will tell you this. You know? They would tell you, listen, we we are those people, and that's what they don't want you to know. That's why when young Pharaoh said, "Who are you?" That's on God honest question. All right. The Alhambra decree, also known as the Edict of Expulsion, Spanish I don't speak Spanish, was an edict issued on 31st March 1492 by the joint Catholic monarchs of Spain, Isabel I of the Castle and Ferdinand II of Aragon, ordering the expulsion of practicing Jews from the crown of the Castile and Aragon and the territories of possessions by the 31st July of that year. The primary purpose was to eliminate the influence on Spain's large converso population. Conversos is talking about the children of the Moors that they was having with the Europeans. Population, and ensure they not convert to Judaism. So this is showing that the Moors was also practicing Judaism. And I'm going to tell you this now. I'm going to say this because for some reason I feel like nobody else is telling you this. Muslims are practicing Judaism. Okay? Over half of Spain's Jews had converted as a result of the religious persecution and pogroms which occurred in 1391 due to the continual attacks. Around 50,000 more had converted by 1415. A further number of these remaining chose to convert to avoid expulsion. As a result of the Alhambra decree and persecution in prior years, over 200,000 Jews converted to Catholicism, and between 40,000 and 100,000 were expelled. As an unknown number returning to Spain in the years following the expulsion. This led to a mass migration of Jews from Spain to Italy, Greece, Mediterranean basin. This can be seen in Jewish surnames. So this is telling you where they think they went, but real niggas like me know where they really went. You heard? All them niggas over there was children of these people. Let's get into this real quick. See, what people don't know is that King James was against the Catholic Church. People don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit, nigga. That's what they be saying. I don't want to hear that shit, nigga. They want to hear some old bullshit. Alright, this is better. So this is the translation of King, he was a prince at the time, James. He was actually a king, but whatever. Great and manifold were the blessings, most dread sovereign, which Almighty God, the Father of all, we're going to get into that one day, the Father of all. Then apparently they knew this, at that time. And when they translated the Bible, they used etymology. They didn't use no foolish shit that these people are talking about, whatever. Bestow upon us the people of England, when first he sent his majesty royal person to rule and reign over us. For whereas it was the expectation of many who wish not well unto our sons, Zion, that upon the setting of that bright Occidental, I don't know, star, Queen Elizabeth of most happy memory, some thick and palpable clouds of darkness would have overshadowed this land, that men should not have been in doubt which way they were to walk, and that it should hardly be known who was to direct the unsettled state and appearance of your majesty, as the sun in his strength instantly dispelled these supposed and surmised mists, and gave unto all that were well affected exceeding cause of comfort, especially when we upheld the government established in your highness and your hopeful seed, by the undoubtable title of this also accompanied with peace and tranquility at home and abroad. But among all our joys, there was no one that more fulfilled our heart than the blessed continuance of the preaching of God's sacred words among us, which is that inestimable treasure, which excelleth all the riches of the earth, because the fruit thereof exceedeth itself, not only to the time spent in this transitory world, but directeth and disposeth men unto the eternal happiness which is above in the heavens. Then not to suffer, this is the fall to the ground, but rather to take up and to continue in that state wherein the famous predecessor of your highness did leave it, nay, to go forward with the confidence and the resolution of a man in maintaining the truth of Christ, and propagating it far and near, is that which has so bound and firmly knit the heart of your majesty, loyal and religious people unto you, that your very name is precious among them. Their eye doth behold you with comfort, and they bless you in their heart as that sanctified person who under God is in immediate author of their true happiness. Let me get to the point, because they talk about the Pope in here, and I want to get it. Okay, all right. And now at last, by the mercy of God and the continuance of our labors, it is being brought unto such a conclusion as that we have great hopes that the Church of England shall reap good fruit. Thereby we hold it our duty to offer it to your majesty, not only as our king and sovereign, but as the principal mover and author of the work, humbly craving of your most sacred majesty, that since the things of this quality have ever been subject to the censors or the ill meaning and the discontent person, it may receive a approbation and patronage from so learned and judicious a prince as your highness is, which allowance and acceptance of our labors shall not honor and encourage us. Then all the accumulations and hard interpretations of other men shall dismay us, so that if on the others on one side we shall be traduced by popish persons at home or abroad. Popish persons. Let's look that up. Because this is how you get to it. Of or relating to the popes or the Roman Catholic Church. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the etymology, if they got it, which they should. You know what I'm saying? Popish, 1520. Is it bishop? You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit giving you the facts, the deets on these people, bro, at home or abroad, who therefore will mangle us because we are poor instruments to make God's holy truth to be yet more and more known unto the people, whom they desire still to keep in ignorance and darkness. The popes want to keep people in ignorance and darkness. On the other side, we shall be mangled by the self-consecrated brethren who run their own ways and give liking unto nothing, but frame assure support them within God good. So this all goes into the law, right? This is why they didn't want us to read this. the translators to the readers. Why they don't put this in all the books, in all the King James? Because they knew how these people operated. They knew. They understood it. They understood it. It's only us that don't understand the history of us and how we came to this level of disbelief, ignorance, blindness, and following after people that have no regard for who we are or love who we are in any type of way or fashion. The fact that people still believe that somebody named, what's his name? Shakespeare wrote this book with this preface in 1611 is utterly confused in the historical migration patterns and the conviction of the people that held these words to be true. So once again, God created the Moors from the dust of the ground. You know what I'm saying? From the dust of the ground. And law is God. Consciousness is controlled by law. You can say Allah, you can say Jehovah, whatever, I don't care, but as you can see, our connections are timeless. You know? And we can no longer allow ourselves to be subject to these people as being the mothers and fathers of civilization. We can no longer do it. Now, there's going to be people that don't want to, that don't want to listen and don't want to make the journey mentally to recovering our first estate. There's people that don't want to do it. And that's not on us. That's on them. Because when the doors close and the windows are shut and they're knocking, it's not like Noah didn't come and say to them, this is who you are, this is what's coming. Let's make the moves in the proper directions. And they put the wax in their ears, they put tape on their eyes, and chose the devil over God. Now, do I believe that everybody won't wake up? Absolutely not. I'm not going to get into that level of awareness that I obtain at this moment of the path. But this is what it is. This is what it is. Last thing. 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 If I could find it. Because they don't want you to see certain things. Because if you see it and you learn who you really are, they can't handle that. They can't handle that. And That is one of the major problem for them. I want to click this, but it's not. It's that video, but they got to be a shorter clip, man. I can't go no hour. You know what I'm saying? And look at this. How we get this color? You know? How we get that color? All I'm saying is we want to reclaim our first estate. That's it. That's it. We just want to reclaim our first estate, what we were, who we were before all this. Am I telling you to follow Dr. York? Am I saying he don't have a shady past? Absolutely not. I'm not saying none of those things. I just get my information from all prophets that chose to seek the truth no matter what. No matter what. Alright, I'm not gonna find it, but it is that video that I showed earlier. The video is crazy long. Maybe another day I will find it and I will, post it. Or you can go to my Instagram. I will not have it there either. But but you can follow me and see if I post it when I find it. So like this video, share. We need to go back to our first estate. Peace.